3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, August 2nd, 2018. Going to do a very simple video on Bitcoin and Litecoin price, where we are, especially in the long term. This is going to be a zoomed out on the charts type of video. And the reason I'm doing this video is because this channel, if you've been watching these videos, we look at the downside and the upside all the time, and we anticipate either or. So if we zoom out on the charts, and if you're long on Bitcoin, you're long on Litecoin, where are we in this story? And I want to jump right into the charts right now. So on the screen, we have Bitcoin weekly up on the charts. And I've been getting some comments lately, and I think it's from people that kind of stumble upon maybe one bullish video that I do, a bullish scenario video. And they're like, come on, you're misleading people. You're not preparing people for the downside. You're basically shilling Bitcoin, Litecoin, and that's not what I do on this channel. And that's partly why I wanted to do this video, because this is going to be a nice zoomed out picture of the markets right now. So Bitcoin weekly, what do we have on the screen? Well, we have, you can really glance at this chart and see the possibilities, right? Right now we have two possibilities. And we're not really in the middle of this channel or this falling wedge. We're actually at the top of this upper trend line on Bitcoin. Now, Litecoin, a little bit different. We actually are in the middle of this wedge, but we'll get to that in a second. So right now on Bitcoin, we're right at the top of this falling wedge, really, in terms of resistance area. So there are three main rules when looking at a falling wedge. Number one, you want to have two reaction highs, which Bitcoin has, obviously. You can look at 1, 2, and now we're actually in the middle of a third one. 2 reaction lows, which obviously we have 3 reaction lows. And in terms of a breakout, what we have to see is volume. We have to see some powerful volume increase, kind of like what you saw back here, and you see these weekly green candles. That's kind of what we need in terms of breaking out. So falling wedge, very simple, typically a 3 to 6 month reversal pattern. So obviously zoomed out on the weekly chart on Bitcoin, completely in play. Litecoin, same thing. You can see it, reaction low, reaction high 1, reaction high 2, and then we have the reaction lows. So right now, Litecoin has been pretty much following Bitcoin in terms of the general trend, but not following it to a T. And that's completely normal. So what I want to look at on Bitcoin is the potential for 2 scenarios, right? We're at the upper trend line of this falling wedge. So scenario 1 is a breakout. We get the volume we need. Everybody sees us break this previous lower high at around $99,000, $10,000, and we're off to the races in a bullish scenario. Scenario number 2 is we bounce off the top of this upper trend line, we form a new lower high, and we bounce back down and we start testing, the bottom of this triangle, potentially forming a new lower low in this falling wedge at around $5,500. We might be doing videos on testing $5,500 on Bitcoin. 100% possibility. So I know that it's been a long road, right? You can look at all-time highs back here to where we are right now, basically 62% from all-time highs, and potentially if we hit those $5,500 area, 72% from all-time highs. So things could get worse before they get better, and I wanted to point that out in this video because it's extremely important at this stage, especially with Bitcoin where we are on the charts, to be prepared for a bounce and be prepared. And I started hinting at this, over the last week or so about a possible lower high in play and a bounce down. So I just wanted to throw out there in a very quick video to, number 1, be prepared for a bounce down. Number 2, be prepared for breakouts, right? So evaluate your portfolio. It's what we talk about all the time on this channel. But really, the main gist of this video is to do this, especially because, as many of you know, I'm completely long on Bitcoin, long on Litecoin, and when I am trying to kind of evaluate my own position, this is what I do. I go to the weekly chart, I zoom out, and if I really want to accumulate, I find areas where I'm very comfortable accumulating and I accumulate. But otherwise, I zoom out on the charts. If you're long on Bitcoin, Litecoin, these prices where we are now are good prices, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you accumulate now. You need to find your own approach to that. But what I am saying is if you zoom out on the charts, especially on the weekly, you really see a healthy trend in Bitcoin and Litecoin. So that's why I wanted to do this video. I really wanted to not be so zoomed in, right? There can be a lot of noise when we're zoomed in, even on the daily, especially the 4 hour. There's a lot of emotion on those zoomed in charts because at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going on, right? One 4 hour candle, we're up 5%. The next 4 hour candle, we're down 7%. And people are, freaking out on that roller coaster ride. But I wanted to just do a very simple zoomed out video to be prepared for either or. But in terms of the long-term trend, this is a reversal pattern in play right now, falling wedge. We might not be there yet. We might need to test lows one more time before bouncing up. And from where we are now, that could potentially be another 30% or so down in Bitcoin, and then Litecoin could be a little bit more harsh in terms of where it would follow. So if I'm on Litecoin charts right now, from where we are right now, 30% would bring us, if it followed Bitcoin in terms of losses, 30% would bring us right outside of the lower trend line at around the $50 to $55 area. So are you prepared for a $50, $55 Litecoin and a $5,000, $5,500 Bitcoin? That's the question. And, I wanted to just put that question out to all of you. It's something I always ask myself. Obviously, that's an insanely great buy zone in my opinion. That's not financial advice, but time will tell. We will see what happens shortly in the next few weeks. And the key is to anticipate either or. Wanted to throw that out there for you. Let me know your thoughts. What are you doing in this environment of the unknown? We've been in this downtrend. However, are you bullish, being we are in a reversal pattern of this falling wedge, lower lows and lower highs forming, getting tighter. You can see the cone being formed. So are you prepared either or? Let me know your thoughts, how you're handling this time for Bitcoin, for Litecoin. Really, truly appreciate you coming by. I will see you in the next video, and God bless.